Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Bosch. This is their part number BL2637. This is an aircraft length 5/32 of an inch black oxide typical drill bit is what it is. And this video is to just primarily serve as visual evidence of the drill bit. Not anything incredibly common about it, but the fact of the matter is it's worth a study, because I do like to see the product that I'm buying as best as possible. Now, there is a jobber's length drill bit. Jobbers is going to be a short standard drill bit size, whatever it is, 2.5, I don't recall. We call it an aircraft. It's longer than a jobber's. They call this extra length or aircraft. Aircraft is intended to refer to about a 6-inch length, and that's indeed what this is. This is black oxide. I like black oxide all around. It is the standard type of drill bit before you get into any sort of coatings that are applied or specialty alloy base material of drill bits that I use for general sort of purposes. My needs don't get into specialty drilling except only very occasionally. The bottom line is I will use a specialty drill bit only when I'm in a precarious position of what I need to drill and where it's located, and I might need to be able to rely on the high integrity of the bit itself. However, the science of what you're drilling into and what you're drilling into it with and the speed at which you're doing it is a very detailed science. And I know about how detailed it is when you look into, let's for instance say, look into a manual or manuals or educational documents as it pertains to doing safe and vault work. The people that make a living in that industry have a full complement of specialty tools and knowledge that allows them to most appropriately work on that material. But for generic type of drilling, a black oxide bit is certainly my weapon of choice. But more so this Bosch unit, because they indicate I'm looking for the line in the description. Speed helix designed for 3 times faster drilling than standard bits. Okay, there is a link below this video to a document called Product Catalog, where they don't give us any important information beyond just typically a table of those different drill bits and the sizes, the lengths, and the part number that's associated with that. There's also a link to the Bosch Metal Drilling Guide, and that will give you an idea of an outline of what you should be using in terms of what you're drilling into. And that is a very incredibly condensed, generic guideline. I can tell you that I would not use a black oxide to drill into stainless, as is indicated there. You're going to want cobalt wood, in my experience, having drilled into even just thin 50 thousandths thick stainless. You're not going to use a black oxide. You can. You better bring more than one bit. But what they're not saying is, at least what I'm not seeing, is the degree. This is a flatter degree on this drill bit tip. And let's determine what that is. I think it's 135 degree. And I am corrected. The bottom of the product catalog does indicate 135 degree. Now, 135 degree versus 118 degree. A flatter bit, in my experience, especially when I'm drilling into a thicker base material, I will use that exclusively. I'll use it almost in all instances. I won't care if it's thin as much, but a flatter point, in my experience, prevents walking before it pierces into what you're drilling into if you've not used a center punch. But in thicker material, I've drilled into 3/8 material, 1/4-inch steel, 3/8 steel. You don't want to be drilling into that to get to the final end and then have your very large drill seize. As you're drilling through the piece with a flatter tip, you're evacuating more metal with every revolution. The further you drill into it, there's less of a wall thickness for the drill bit to catch on. So I like those flatter bits because I can get more of the material removed as I'm coming through the piece. And especially when you're drilling in an area that's hard to get to. But the hole has to be correct because you're hanging something off of it. That has to be plumb, etc. So I will always prefer that. Finally, there is a link to the manufacturer's page below this video. Now I'm preferential to the Bosch drill bit line not only because I'm a distributor, but because I use the products personally and can attest to the high performance of much of the product line. I also like black oxide because they're not only inexpensive, but they tend to look good over the age of the drill bit in your toolbox. There is a link again below this video to the manufacturer's page. You can view all the Bosch products we sell, a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Any questions on the Bosch? This is their part number BL2637, aircraft length 5/32 of an inch bit, which would be for mild steel, wood, or PVC, or any other Bosch product. Please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.